You're live.
Live or something like it, starring Angelina Jolie.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Today is Nicolas Cage's 59th birthday.
Oh,
He's a favorite of mine.
I sometimes enjoy him. Mhm.
I think I've become exhausted with his, over the past 10 years, just like there are movies he does not belong in.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, but for his birthday, I thought the selections I chose were based on wanting to highlight critically acclaimed films
Qualité.
that I had not seen. So that was part of why some were excluded.
You hadn't seen any of those?
Mm-mm. And avoiding like the bigger box office like Con Air and Face Off, which are fun movies, but you know. So the options were Leaving Las Vegas, Adaptation, Wild at Heart, Joe, and Raising Arizona. And the winner was Raising Arizona.
I've shown you Wild at Heart before.
Who's in that?
Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern.
I don't remember.
And Isabella Rossellini.
That's why I chose it, because I didn't remember.
Don't you remember the image of Willem Dafoe with the nylon over his face looking crazy?
No.
Yes, because you make fun of Isabella Rossellini's hair in that as Perdita Durango, because you said she looked like Madonna.
Okay, that sounds familiar, but anyway, those were the options. Raising Arizona won. So what were your thoughts on this movie upon a rewatch?
It's been a very long time, probably at least over 20 years, since probably I lived at home with my parents since I've seen it, but I had very fond memories of it. And it has, maybe just has a special place in my head movie, but I quite enjoyed it. I really liked Holly Hunter, but I've always liked her.
I enjoyed it, and my favorite part is Holly Hunter. So it's directed by Joel Coen?
Yes, with Ethan Coen as uncredited, I think because of DGA rules, and only until very recently they always technically were co-directing.
What other Coen Brothers movies do I know?
My God. Now my brain is freezing. You've seen Fargo.
I like Fargo.
I'm sure you've seen The Big Lebowski.
No, but I'm familiar with the sweater because someone does that for Halloween.
Okay. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I know you saw Joel Coen's Tragedy Macbeth last year or 2021 because that was a favorite of mine. God.
Anyhow, it's a comedy. The basic story is, for those who don't know, Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter play a married couple. Nicolas Cage is an ex-con and Holly Hunter is an ex-law enforcement agent. And they are having fertility issues. So they decide to steal a baby from this wealthy Arizona couple who are in the news because they had quintuplets, 5 babies. And there's an interview where the parents explain that it's a little too much for them to handle. So Nick and Holly feel justified in stealing this baby. So they take one and of course are not prepared for the reality of raising a stolen baby. Then there are 2 guys who are in prison with Nicolas Cage. They break out, show up at his house, and when they realize that this is that stolen baby and there's a reward for it, they take the baby. Then there's this like bounty hunter who is sort of like playing the dad of the missing baby, saying like, I'll go find your baby for double the reward. So that bounty hunter takes the baby from the 2 guys who broke out of prison, but then Nick and Holly go and get their baby and decide to give it back to the parents. And when the dad realizes what their intentions were, he doesn't press charges. The end. But then there's like a final dream sequence where Nicolas Cage is pondering maybe like what the kid might have grown up into along with another character, and then sort of like what their life, he and Holly's life would be like as grandparents, perhaps. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I remember taking you to the True Grit remake of the Coen Brothers.
True Grit? Who's in that?
With Matt Damon.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Hail Caesar.
With
oh my God,
who's the guy who dances in Magic Mike?
Channing Tatum.
Is he in it?
I believe so.
Okay.
And Ray Fiennes. Would that what it were? You always say.
Oh, would that what it were? Yes, I remember that line. And who's that kid?
Alden Ehrenreich.
I liked him.
And Scarlett Johansson.
I don't remember her. Okay, so my first note about this movie is I like it. This brand of comedy works for me. I like that it's absurd without being ridiculous. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a madcap. Got that era, 1940s era of slapstick to it, and it's surprising because this is after the Coen Brothers, who had a very hard time getting their first film shown anywhere. I think there was the Toronto Film Festival that kind of.
What was their first film?
Blood Simple, which back then that was called the Festival of Festivals, I think, with Frances McDormand, which is this neo-noir with Frances and Emmett Walsh, who has a cameo in this.
So Nick meets Holly because he keeps getting arrested and thrown in jail for like theft. But he's never in big trouble because the gun he uses is never loaded. But Holly plays the person taking the mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a montage of him going in 3 times, I believe. And the first time he gives her eyes like he likes her. The second time, I think he actually tries to push up on her. And the third time, she's crying because she says her fiance left her, which made me laugh so hard that she mispronounced fiance. So when he gets out that third time, he goes straight from wherever they release you into the office to see her and proposes to her. And they're a couple. When he goes to take the kids, so the 5 kids are in like a what do you call it? A crib with their little names like on placards. And I thought that was funny because it's kind of calamitous. Like the kids are escaping like puppy dogs. I thought that was really well done. Holly crying in the car over her new baby. She is so funny.
Or when she's barren.
She is really funny in this movie because I only know her from Copycat.
Yes, she always seems to rub you the wrong way usually. So I'm surprised that you like her so much. Well,
I'm fair,
and I'm
not gonna just be a hater for no reason. She must have done something I didn't like, but I like Copycat a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And then she's really good in this.
And I made you watch The Piano.
I don't remember that movie.
You don't, where she's her Oscar-winning role where she's mute. And
I think the problem with The Piano is you're always talking about the piano teacher. So
Sure.
I've put those two together, and I don't know. Well, that one I really don't recall.
Adrian Brody.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Wow.
But it's all piano to me, and I don't know what any of them are about. But especially when, here, I'm getting confused. When we see John Goodman and the other guy break out of jail,
William Forsythe,
I thought that was a really funny scene of him like pulling him out of the mud.
Like he's being born of the earth.
It almost felt like Toxic Avengers.
That, and then we had just watched Out of Sight, and they have a kind of, well, it's dry out, but
then Frances McDormand is in it playing like the wife of one of like another couple who Nick and Holly.
Dot and Glen. Glen, played by Sam McMurray, is Nicolas Cage's boss.
Oh, right. And she's trying, like, clearly Holly Hunter was not prepared to raise this baby she stole. And Frances McDormand is trying to explain to her, like, all the things you need and, like, bank accounts for college and braces. And then she keeps talking about a dip test. And then when she finds out that the baby hasn't had their dip test, she's like, what?
Diphtheria, tetanus.
Yeah. I thought that was a lot of fun. So they go. Nicolas Cage gets into a fight with his boss, and they don't have any money
because the boss proposes that they swing together.
Nick and his boss are having a conversation, and the boss misinterprets their situation as like their sex life is dead. So he proposes they like wife swap. Nick gets mad. They get into a little fight. So he knows he's fired. Then they have to go get like the baby needs like diapers. So he robs a store, and then there's this like police shootout. That shit was so intense. The police are just shooting
in the grocery store, women screaming with rollers in their hair. Yeah.
So Holly leaves Nick, so he's on the run on his own, but then she finally picks him up after this like long ass chase. And she is upset. And she's like, we have a child now. Everything has changed. And the faces she's making are so funny to me.
Things have to change.
Yes. Just that part alone, I could watch on repeat. And then her body language, like the way she stands. And she is very, very cute in this movie.
I would also recommend her supporting role in A Life Less Ordinary, the Daniel Boyle film, where she's an angel, I think opposite Delroy Lindo.
Oh. Then when we meet the bounty hunter, whose name is Leonard,
Leonard Small.
Yeah, Leonard Smalls.
Played by Randall Tex Cobb.
When he goes, he's this dirty ass biker man. And when he goes to meet the father of the kidnapped baby, he's, trying to shake him down. And he tells him, like, first of all, he has a very like genteel voice, which I think is funny. And then he says, my friends call me Lenny, but I don't have any friends. And then he's telling the guy, you have flies in your office. And he's saying that's impossible. It's very clean and like climate control. The windows are closed. And then right as Lenny's about to leave, he like catches a fly. I really liked that. So when the two guys who break out of prison take the baby, they end up leaving it when they rob a convenience store.
Twice they do.
They leave the baby twice, and both times they leave that baby in its car seat in the middle of the highway. That is so ridiculous. It's just absurd. But I thought that was very funny. Then when Nicolas finally catches up to Lenny, the bounty hunter, at one point, he like grabs onto the motorcycle and is being dragged.
Be flayed.
I thought that was funny. And he ends up killing the bounty hunter by like what do you call it when you pull the grenade pin? I thought that was really well shot. Yeah, just a lot of really fun scenes. This dry comedy that's sort of absurdist, I find very humorous. Probably the biggest thing that didn't work for me is I think the sentimentality of the final montage.
I really like that.
I didn't need that.
Oh, I really like that. And I think other films have kind of copied that strange, dreamy melancholy that the Coen Brothers are doing there.
But of course, it's Nicolas Cage's birthday, so talking about him, what do you think about him in this movie?
What a big weekend for him! He has a new terrible movie out called The Old Way.
The Old Way.
And a preview dropped for a new movie called Renfield that sounds a lot more interesting. I do like Nicolas Cage. I will watch a movie for him, but also realizing that some stuff is just going to be dreck.
He's young and thin in this movie, and he has his original teeth, and his hair is very interesting.
They're doing the Woody Woodpecker theme, like because the hair is supposed to signify when he's stressed out, etc. 1987 was a big year for both leads because Nicolas Cage also starred opposite Cher in Moonstruck this year, and Holly Hunter. This was kind of a breakout year for her. She got an Oscar nod for Broadcast News, the Albert Brooks film, which is also a very entertaining film worth watching. A different brand of comedy, of course, but
what else do you have to say about this movie?
I don't know. It was a treat to rewatch. I really like it.
I would give it 3.5 out of 5, which means I think it's very good. I didn't have a lot to say about it. I did find it very amusing. Would I watch it again? I wouldn't bring it up, but if someone wanted to take me to a cute theater and dinner and get me snacks, I would go and watch it again.
It's definitely a feel-good movie from a certain era that I don't think could be remade today. It's very much of the period as well.
I'd be curious to see how people would react to a film being made in 2023 where they like just the handling of this baby is so alarming.
Well, and there are also things going on. They mentioned Reagan, right, by name. Yeah. It's not a political film by any means, but there's a certain thing about kind of certain chances being denied people. I just watched Blue Bayou for the first time, the Justin Chong film, and it's like the comedy version of that in some ways. It was shot by Barry Sonnenfeld, who went on to become a major director in the 90s himself with Get Shorty and the Men in Black films, the Addams Family films, and Carter Burwell does the score, which I also think is quite well done and very fitting for this film, who the Coen Brothers used quite a bit. But strangely, this is nestled. I think in my mind, Raising Arizona sticks out as an anomaly for the Coen Brothers. And even going back to their filmography, this came out between Blood Simple and Miller's Crossing, which are very dark films.
Oh, sure.
They didn't really attempt to do this again until The Hudsucker Proxy in 94, which was a huge flop with Tim Robbins and Jennifer Jason Leigh. But also, I think I have fond memories of that movie too, but this is successful in all the right ways.
Well, I can go through the comments. Is there someone in the chat with the handle Poor White Boy?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, but like actively. I feel concerned for them. this movie's been out for 30 something years. I don't think you need to worry about spoilers. I would say we do, because people still complain. People complained on the review for spoiler alert. The movie's called spoiler alert, and then it says spoiler alert, and people were still upset, even though the synopsis is about a couple who one of them dies. Couldn't be more predictable, and people didn't like that. So you're glad you found our channel. I'm glad you found our channel too. How did we enjoy Drag Race? It was long.
Oh my God.
Because we watched it on like MTV Live, so there were commercials.
But the commercials were thankfully brief.
They were, to be fair, but still, it started at 8 and it didn't end until 10:15.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long time. And then we watched Untucked. But I know that moving forward, it won't be like that. Yeah, it was cute. There were some really talented people.
It's funny just thinking about, because they're doing a lot of referencing back to the first and second seasons with the mini challenge, and it's funny. You have these, all of a sudden, these TikTok queens are everywhere, and it's just funny how you can see in the casting of the show now how manufactured it's become, and with the types of selections they're making and the types of queens, and
well, and we're also going to run out of, I mean, it feels like we have, like, just the show premiered almost 15 years ago.
2008.
So it's like a lot of the established queens are just not in fighting shape, right? I mean, these queens are, you're going to get a lot of established who haven't already been on. It's a lot of people who are, I don't know. So specifically those two that are really popular on TikTok, the twins, initially I thought I was going to like I wouldn't be able to tolerate them, but I actually kind of like them because they were very sweet.
They're sweet, but you can see how attitudes have changed too in many ways, in the reflection of the youth coming up and how they're just a lot less bothered by people wanting to be nasty to them,
which is refreshing.
Yeah.
And, you know, who am I to, well, I also found them entertaining, but you know, who are we to judge what people find entertaining? Like the fact that they have millions of followers on TikTok, obviously people like them. So it seems odd to hate on them for that. It's like, well, they didn't pay people to follow them. No. People are paying them. So it's like, but anyway, I enjoyed it well enough. And obviously we like Drag Race.
Right. And then like somebody a little more legendary like Sasha Colby. I think you'll still see, there are still people out there that have been on the show.
Sure. Yes, you're right. Hello, New York City. A drinking game every time I say I don't recall. Well, you probably die from alcohol poisoning.
Well, let's get whatever you need to help you with your cirrhosis, because might as well prep ahead of time.
Someone likes Nicolas Cage and Birdie. Oh, is that with the other guy?
Matthew Modine.
Where he
thinks he's a bird.
That's right. I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I put it on probably sometime during the pandemic.
I was amused.
Somebody odd directed that, like Alan Pakula or something.
Someone mentioned the names of the quintuplets, which is funny. It's Larry, Harry, Gary, Barry, and Nathan Jr.
And they're like, they took Nathan Jr., I think.
That's funny. Would you do you think this movie's camp?
No, because I think all the choices are deliberate. Because camp is technically failed art. Like it's, if realistically, camp is something that's trying for something else and failing. And that's what's great about it.
You've seen Blood Simple.
Yeah, and that's on Criterion. I got to see it at the New Art Theater and a nice restoration several years ago. Excellent film.
The ending of this movie is imaginative. I agree. I don't know. My mood wasn't. I like the movie, so I don't have negative things to say about it. I was just thinking if there was something that stuck out that I didn't necessarily love, it was the ending, but it is imaginative. Oh, JS7 Dragon is 3 shots in, and it is noon in LA. So where are you? Well, day drinking is fine on a Saturday. Day drinking is fine any time of the week.
I don't really day drink.
You don't? No, because I'll sometimes have a drink during the day and you're like, oh, what are you doing?
No, I don't mind that you do. I just can't. I like to start later.
The scene where he runs through the store. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't believe how everyone is just shooting indiscriminately.
There are so many times.
The cops come out hot, real hot, over a man with a pack of Pampers, Huggies.
Because I'm like, God, just to me, in my mind's eye, it was Texas, but
Yeah, to be honest, I was thinking like, are we in Texas?
Mhm.
Because everyone just has a gun and they are not afraid to use it. I did like John Goodman in this. It's fun seeing him young because I watched every episode of
Roseanne.
Roseanne. So I mean, I do like him.
And William Forsythe too, who always plays a creep, always. And he's sweet in this too. Like he becomes very attached to that baby real quick. But
Yes, and when they're fighting in the trailer home, the mobile home, I thought that was good.
well, and he's got like clutching the baby in the bathroom with his hands.
Has John Goodman ever been nominated for an Academy Award?
You know, I don't know actually.
Huh.
I maybe once. That's
Holly
odd.
Hunter is in Succession.
Yeah, which I've not seen.
When you said Out of Sight, it made me think it would be cool to feature No Way Out in an upcoming live. No Way Out? What is that?
I'm assuming you're thinking of the 1987 Kevin Costner Sean Young film, or was that 87? Yeah, which is actually a remake of a film noir that you liked when I showed it to you called The Big Clock.
Okay.
The Big Clock. No Way Out, I've seen a few years ago, and I remember liking it. It's fine.
Is it difficult for you to give an unbiased review if you absolutely hate an actor?
No, because I'll give credit where credit's due. Like Kate Hudson, for instance, who I really usually can't stand. Technically, I thought she gave the best performance in Glass Onion, which is the film I didn't like, but she was the highlight in it for me. So kudos to her. But you know, when you have a good script with a role that you can really get into, I don't know.
Have I seen Burn After Reading?
I don't know. John Goodman's not been nominated for an Oscar. Burn After Reading is an excellent Coen Brothers movie, but again, on the lighter side, Tilda Swinton. That's where George Clooney has that sex chair. Do you remember that?
No.
Maybe you haven't seen it.
Oh, I think they are referring to the Kevin Costner movie then.
Well, there's a Joseph Mankiewicz film starring Sidney Poitier from 1950, I think.
Okay, going through comments. Yeah, watch the Renfield trailer. I really, and who's the main guy in it?
Isn't it Nicolas Hoult?
Yes, I forgot. Every time I see him, I'm reminded that I do like him.
You just saw him in the menu.
That's right. See, I forget about him every time. Who's on your shirt, Nick?
It's Ingmar Bergman's Persona, so Liv Ullmann and BB.
There we go.
Which is a film you haven't seen.
No.
But it's must-see cinema.
Moonstruck is great. I really like that movie.
You know, Danny Aiello as the man she's supposed to marry.
Oh, I lost my place. Damn. Okay. Hold, please. Oh, you know what? Holly Hunter's in Crash.
Yeah, her wig bothered you in that.
It did.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Crash, of the novel and the film. You, I think, don't love it as much, but
What is 13?
with Holly Hunter, she got an Oscar nod for that. Speaking of which, isn't Deborah Kara Unger in that too? Who's in her co-star in Crash? Anyway, yeah, that's Evan Rachel Wood's breakout. And is the other girl Nick? It's technically based on Nikki Reed's life, who's in the Twilight films, right? Is her name Nikki? Anyway,
You know, I don't know. Waiting for the new Nuri Salem.
Catherine Hardwicke directed that.
Oh,
What are you looking?
we're here. Nuri Salem.
Oh yeah, Nuri. I think it's Nuri Bilge Ceylan. Is that how you say it in Turkish? Yes, he's always good though.
Hudsucker Proxy. Have I seen that?
I don't think so, but it's worth watching. I wouldn't say Lingus. Lingo.
Oh, RuPaul's new game show. I'm not. Yeah, I have no interest in that.
There's so many things I have to catch up on. I don't know.
Oh, someone saying nice things. Thank you. Who's Larry? What does this mean?
Larry Clark, the director of Kids.
Okay, that's funny. Don't say poor white boy in front of Larry Clark. That's funny. Oh, people like the spoilers. Well, good. Are we going to review the Harry and Meghan Netflix stuff? I watched episode 1 and totally forgot that there were more. I wasn't. Well, the other thing is because I read like websites, like celebrity websites, or even like on Instagram, like I follow some like gossip pages. So all the highlights are on there.
Sure. I'm not
So
saying I wouldn't watch it, but they don't really interest me.
well, that's what I mean. They don't really interest me, and then some of the little tidbits that are from it are already on social media. So I'm not, and even with that in mind, I'm not super interested.
To me, like the interesting things are in the periphery, like Tyler Perry being the godfather of the child.
Well, I think that they're living.
Yeah, they're living in his house,
right? Aren't they? Or they were when they first came here.
Yeah,
one of his homes. Thank you, Sidley Twins. Have you watched We're Here?
The first season.
Yeah, I watched episode 1 of season 3 this morning, which is odd because I haven't. It's hard to watch for me. It's just like the first episode of season 3. They're in this like rural town in Texas, and the homophobia and transphobia is just difficult to watch. And I'm not saying it's exploitative, or it doesn't make me feel good watching it. I feel stressed out and anxious. And watching these people, you know what it's about, like watching these people choose to do this thing in this town, to me feels like, I don't know, it just feels like they're putting a target on their back. If anything, I feel like they should take those people out of those areas and say, oh, you can spend a week in LA or New York or Chicago, and you can have this fabulous queer experience and do drag and feel safe. But I feel so unsafe for those people. And then this episode I watched, I mean, they had to cancel, like Shangela was going to like read books to kids in drag, and the venue was threatened, so they had to cancel it. And so
I don't know.
It's the reality of stuff, but it makes me uncomfortable. Like, it's not a feel good.
Sure, but I also don't believe in giving in, leaving just because there are assholes that make it hostile for you. But because that's letting them win, and I'm not into letting people win. But somebody has to stay. Somebody has to stay and stand up to these people and exist and just be able to exist.
I think people need to exist. I don't know if it makes sense to make, people's safety is also important. And, I think there needs to be a balance, and it can't always be like, I'm going to fight. Like, you have to choose your battles. And I don't know that being in Guthrie, Texas, or wherever the hell they were, it makes sense to.
No, but that's also letting people establish a totalitarian environment.
And, this production crew and the talent, like, they don't have to stay there. I'm not saying that these, I think maybe the creators and the executives are probably exploiting the fact that there are these podunk towns where there's homophobia. So let's bring in these drag queens.
And we're going to get a show
and we're going to get a good show. So I'm not saying they're doing all of this in earnest, but I think, the talent certainly are not to blame, and the people who work on the show. But it is kind of like, it's real easy to swoop in.
I agree.
And then leave, and like, you're safe. But like, now this person you put in drag, who now everyone knows the town librarian is gay, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yes, I think there are some inherent issues with that as well. That
I'm not shitting on We're Here. I'm glad that there's queer content.
I'm glad somebody's taking a rock and seeing what's lying underneath it.
Oh, people are saying nice things. Thank you. Evil Dead Rise. Was Alec talking about that?
Yeah. I think we have some friends that are very excited for that.
I would like to see it. I like the
remake.
We'll
see it. Yeah.
Oops, he's at 6 shots. What is your time zone? What are you doing? And what are you drinking? That's what I want to know. John Goodman is great. He is. Thank you, Donna Marie. Yes. The Coen. Yeah, I guess the Coen Brothers, I probably need to bone up on their work.
Well, if you could remember what you see.
Randall to Cobb's.
Randall texts Cobb's. That's Leonard Smalls.
Oh.
The bounty hunter.
Do you know him from something else?
Oh, he's showed up in tons of stuff. I guess the Coen Brothers had a hard time working with him, but my mind's eye always goes to, like, he has small roles in things like Ace Ventura and Naked Gun 33 1/3, which also has Anna Nicole Smith and Pia Zadora.
I need to watch Decision to Leave, I guess.
Yes.
Someone said the accurate portrayal of Cobb's. Yeah, I mean.
Well, his Randall texts Cobb's little speech about, like, you want to find a donut shop, you get asked the Cobb's.
Yeah, he's like, if you want to find a Dunkin' Donuts, you ask the Cobb's.
You want to find a criminal, you get a criminal.
Yeah, and why, like, when Nicolas was running, I wish he would have taken the nylon or the stockings off of his head. Oh, you used to run into John Goodman at the Ralph's in the Valley late at night while he was buying a whole lot of donuts.
You know, speaking of Coen Brothers related things, when we lived in West Hollywood at the Ralph's we used to go to, I ran into on more than one occasion Peter Stormare from Fargo and his wife, and they were in a heated argument one day.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh gosh, I just skipped a bunch. Hold, please. Oh, you know, we don't say that's Nick and that's Joseph in the live videos.
Oh, we don't, yeah.
Yeah, I usually just say like we're live.
Lazy, lazy, lazy.
The mic is hot. Greetings to the north of the UK. Well, what is that? Ireland? What's north of the UK?
The Falkland Islands.
Where are you specifically? Chasney 999. Holly Hunter stole Angela Bassett's Oscar. Ooh.
I mean, Angela is very good as Tina Turner, but I don't know. I really like the Holly Hunter performance, which, you know, was offered to Sigourney Weaver first, but for various reasons, I don't want to put her agent on blast. She did not even see the script. Actually, Jane Campion also offered her the Barbara Hershey role in Portrait of a Lady. Anyhow, I think Holly won Best Actress at Cannes, and of course, Jane Campion was the first of only 2 women ever to have won the Palme d'Or for The Piano.
Have you seen Bringing Out the Dead?
Yeah,
from the 90s.
Scorsese's, where he's the ambulance driver with John Goodman. That's more of a depressing film. Yeah, I liked it. I watched that recently.
First date experience, like our first date.
I asked him out,
and you took me to a nice little restaurant in Minneapolis called Spill the Wine. And I know you ordered scallops.
Yes.
And you weren't pleased. Or I think they gave you like a little bitty portion for the price.
I think I got 2.
For the price, I was surprised that your plate. I don't recall what I
And you're like, I've never had those. And then you had one and disparaged the taste. So
I don't generally like seafood. Well, I like albacore tuna salad, like a tuna salad sandwich with albacore tuna. You do a very good job of making those. I like halibut and salmon. And I'll eat like sushi of various types of fish.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah, but like I don't eat like crustaceans.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I don't want shrimp. I don't want crab. I don't want lobster. Crawdads.
Shrimps.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't like oysters, but almost anything else from the sea I will plunder.
Team Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer.
I'm
probably more excited for Barbie. But I will see both. And Christopher Nolan, I'm always going to want to watch what Christopher Nolan's doing, even if it's dry.
I would be interested in the Bernie Madoff doc. What's the biggest surprise film in 2023 thus far? Well, you haven't seen that many.
There hasn't been that many. I mean, Megan, because I enjoyed it. Which technically is a 2022 film because it opened in Mexico at first or in somewhere else. But yeah, Nicolas Cage is a Coppola, so his original stage name was Nicolas Coppola. I think he was credited as that in The Outsiders as well, directed by Francis is his uncle, right?
Nick is covering Sundance virtually.
I do not like Utah.
Shots fired.
Hell no. This conservative little town where everybody's bitching about all this.
The LDS church is going to come find us.
No, I don't like going there. I don't like the lodging, the overly expensive lodging. You know, it's just like, well, it's France, at least. And Venice isn't particularly accommodating with lodging either. But Utah, Park City, Utah, no, thank you.
Taking it down a notch. I meant it. It's because someone said that they helped fund a film called Onyx, the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls.
Yeah, it's in the midnight section. I have a virtual ticket. I do plan on seeing that.
Oh.
What I'm most excited for, though, unfortunately, is
the next question. Is there a movie from Sundance you're looking forward to?
Brandon Cronenberg's new film, Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool.
Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård.
I made my parents watch Possession, and let's just say they didn't like it, but I thought it was very good.
Yeah, my parents. I made I was visiting home for Thanksgiving when we did Cries and Whispers, and I was with my family, and I made them watch that, and they were kind of like,
I'm not into letting people win. Yeah, that's something, Nick, you're very difficult.
well, it depends on what it is. I mean, I don't need there's some things I just don't care about, but you know, human rights, come on.
Oh gosh, I skipped again. Would we ever consider? Wait, okay, I skipped a lot. Damn. Would we ever do a live watch party? I don't know what that means. So, like, I would have to sit on my computer while the movie's playing, and then I don't know what I think a live watch party is. I don't want to sit and watch the movie like while people are watching me watch it, because I don't want to talk over the movie.
Okay.
I don't like that. When we're together, we talk over the movie, and that's like already distracting. And then when people are watching it with us and they want to talk, I really don't like that. And I'm not like an MST3K. I'm not a comedian, so I feel like me just rambling on over a movie would be annoying.
You don't have to be a comedian to be funny. You're funny.
Yeah, but I would rather talk about the movie after. You know, what'd be more fun to me is if we ever got to a level where we could like host screenings, like at a theater, and then we could stay after and talk about it.
Yeah,
I like maybe there are like chairs set up, and there could be refreshments.
Kind of like How Did This Get Made does.
Well, no, because I want everyone to be able to talk.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yo, you don't want people talking?
No, I don't know. Of course.
I want to hear other people talk. People are funny.
They are funny.
I want to hear other people talk. I'm drinking vodka every time you forget something. Well, vodka is my preferred spirit.
I like gin.
You would tend to order gin and tonic. Favorite music? Oh, we have links. I don't know where they are anymore. I don't think I put them in every video now.
Oh,
we have playlists, like our Apple Music playlist. I would say your musical tastes are more eclectic than mine.
I like a lot of stuff.
I'm definitely like 90s R&B and hip hop. I love the 80s, like classic rock pop stuff. I don't know a lot of newer music unless like I hear it in a movie. That's very rare that I hear a song in a movie and have to go download it.
Sure.
So if you're in the car with me and I'm playing music, it's going to be something from the 90s. Like that's like 98% guaranteed. But yeah, you like a lot of stuff.
I like some R&B, hip hop, but a lot of alternative. I like moody things, like moods, like vibes. And I'm a up-tempo gal.
Yeah. Oh, someone's son was a child actor. Now they're pre-med. That's a lot of work. A SAG member, so you're voting for him today. Oh, so the Evil Dead movie, I haven't seen the trailer, so it does look kind of like it might not be that great.
I don't know.
I mean, well, we need to watch the Renfield trailer. Because you haven't seen it.
I've been told I need to watch the Barbie trailer because how it's been described to me sounds amazing.
And I've seen that. I thought it was good. And then we can watch the Evil Dead trailer.
I don't seek out trailers unless it's a Sigourney Weaver film.
Oh, Possession's now available on Shudder. Oh, I guess that's good for the movie, like for exposure.
You know, for years I had to buy I had several like Region 2 copies of that movie, and I forget the label that basically has a stranglehold on Zulawski's filmography that only puts him out on Blu-ray and DVD. You know, so good, I guess, because it's been a long time. But was it last year? It was 2021 that had the theatrical re-release, it was so amazing to see that on the big screen.
I watched Possession last night. I'm still in shock. I mean, well, because when I first met you, you kept talking about this movie. Well, and then as I started to learn your personality, and you know, it's kind of alarming when you realize like, the kind of stuff. When I realized the kind of stuff you really gravitate towards. So I recall thinking the way you described Possession, I was very surprised what I ended up watching. I do really like the movie.
Yeah, you seemed real concerned after I had a movie night for Claire Denis' Trouble Every Day. Like, oh, you like really dark stuff. I do.
Yeah, well, you know, the signs were there. He remembered his first drink. I can't drink. Yeah. Sorry. Scorsese had some beautiful words about Tar.
I think I read that he said that there's still hope for cinema or something.
Does Harvey Keitel go full frontal in The Piano?
Yes, I in my mind's eye, I remember seeing his peen in that and Bad Lieutenant, but I remember him like, isn't he like naked and like kind of touching the piano?
Yeah. When I think of like a lobster, it just looks like a big cockroach to me.
Because it is.
If I couldn't see it,
We're all going to be eating bugs eventually if we live.
I mean, that's true, but yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do like shrimp and crab. And when I see people like doing those boiler steam things where it's like the corn on the cob and I cannot.
I know, and I can't even order these things when we're out because he insists on having some of my food. So
no, that's not true. Don't do that. Every time I say, oh, you should get that because you don't normally order it, and then you're like, no. You can order whatever you want.
I know I can, but it's just easy.
So then why did you make the previous statement?
Because
you want to always make me a villain.
Because anytime we were trying to order the same thing, like, don't do that. Like,
well, not the same thing because we can try each other's. So if you want the chicken, you can try some of mine. So you should get something different. Mm-hmm. I don't control what you eat.
I didn't say you control what I eat. I said
the type of movie I won't see. I don't know that I would say there's a type of movie I wouldn't see.
I mean, you will actively avoid something like, dramas. Yeah,
like if it's just a straight drama that's like a period piece or movies about like war.
But there are things where I drag my feet to watch because it's just like I'm usually not in the mood to watch a war movie, a Holocaust film, a slave film. Anything about gay rights. It's just like I just don't want to go there.
Just feel like it's going to be a hard watch. So I have to be in the mood, and I'm never in the mood.
But I do. You get through it.
How to start a movie review channel? Just do it.
Just do it. I think that's
if you watch our first video, that was real crunchy. Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, because you get better with practice. And I'm not saying we're good or well practiced even after all this, but
but they've gotten better.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm more organized. Like I write things down now. Before I was really winging it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just do it. If it sounds fun, I would say just do it.
Try it. Yeah. There's no.
And it's free, right? Like everyone has a camera phone. And if you have internet and a computer, well, you don't even need a computer to upload videos. And you can get good light from opening a window. And yeah.
You're going to go all dogma with it.
Because you think like
Dogma
even working in marketing, like user generated content, preferably that's organic, but even if it's not, like when it looks like they made it themselves, that resonates with people way more than something that's been professionally shot. Mm-hmm. In most cases, like people like that. So I'm just saying that because I think people gravitate towards the look and feel of something that feels less produced. Obviously, the quality needs to be there. The content needs to be there. And the sound needs to be there. I don't know that we have all those things, but it's obvious to me that those are what people want. So yeah, just do it. Let's see more of the side of Nick, the side that rants with anger. Oh, I mean, that's you all the time. What are you talking about?
Oh, I mean, I feel
you always have an attitude.
Sure, but I'm a little more diplomatic when I have to be.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's true.
I go off on a lot of rant. I think that we've often had heated debates in front of friends and they get alarmed.
That's what made us start the channel, actually, is people would comment on how we talk to each other, that they found it amusing, which was usually slightly alarming. Like they thought we were fighting. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm just talking. Mm-hmm. Will our parents ever be on the show? Probably not. No, I can't imagine that.
I doubt that they even watch, but.
Well, I probably wouldn't ask.
Well, I talk shit about them sometimes. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Are you excited for a knock at the door? Like, is there someone outside our house?
It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh. Could you imagine if I read that comment and then the door knocked?
That's a movie.
That would be a good movie.
Knock Knock, directed by Eli Roth.
Oh, that is a movie. Okay.
No, it's not the plot, but yes, you know, I'm all for his little comeback. I think that it was, I think, a good thing for him to not be knocked down the way he was, but to go back to basics and kind of smaller parameters and storytelling. Somebody had asked about recommendation for a smaller film festival. I think if you're in a major city, there likely is a film festival, but it's no fun. It's not really a film festival experience to go to some place that's having it in your city. Like, it's more fun to travel and kind of have all day to immerse yourself. I'd say the easiest festival as a member of the public is Toronto International Film Festival every September. It's very accessible to the public. You know, accommodations in Toronto, you can find something decent.
Where does this answer come? What was the question?
Somebody was asking that.
Oh, I didn't read that. How do you take notes while watching movies? I have a book. This is my book, actually. I have my book, and I write like things that will remind me of usually something silly I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then research. Nick does all the research, which most of it's in his head movie, but he'll take notes beforehand.
I mean, if somebody's new to me or I want to be reminded, say like earlier in this review about the Coen Brothers, it's like they have so much, it's hard to, my mind scatters. But
we always practice the basic story. So I'll tell him the basic story so that I know I'm getting it correct. But yeah, other than that, it doesn't take that long.
No.
To be prepared. It also is easier to do it with another person.
Yes.
Well, a person you have a connection with and who you saw the movie with and you discussed it with, because I forget everything. So there's someone there. If it were just me alone, there'd be a lot of dead space.
You've done one.
I've done two.
You did two, yeah.
I did Great White and the Bob's Burger, and those were so difficult. I had to record those so many times because I won't edit. So I
won't edit. I won't do it.
I hate when the video looks like it just took like 100 cuts to get 10 minutes. So it took me like half a day to do Great White, and the result is not that great.
For a movie that's very forgettable.
Sometimes the sink faucet lines up with your ear, and I can't help but think you'd look great with an earring in your left ear. So move towards me a little. Oh, make that your earring. Oh, look at that. Beau is Afraid.
I'm aware that's a title, I think, coming up, but I can't recall who's in it.
We have a friend named Beau.
We do.
Find out if
he might be afraid.
He might. Maybe he is. You can put the chat on slow mode. What? I can put the chat on slow mode. Okay, well, now's not the time for me to figure that out, but that's good to know. I want to watch you watch a movie. Someone recommended this. If someone wanted to pay us to go watch a movie with them and then go have dinner and talk about it, I would do it.
Oh boy, listen to everything you put in there. Go have dinner with appetizers and a bottle of wine and dessert.
I need, I want to be in a theater with assigned seats, that's for sure. And I need to sit in the aisle. So keep that in mind.
So he doesn't want to go to the New Beverly.
Yeah, no. Alamo Draft House is great.
It is, yeah.
And then dinner. So it need to be an early showing so that I can have dinner. I don't want to eat after 8.
I was going to try to take you to a Jerzy Skolimowski film. They're having a retrospective for him down the street to see Deep End, but that's not going to be my secret film. So
I need at least like 2 glasses of wine. We can share an appetizer.
Who's we?
The person taking us to the movie.
Okay.
Who do you think we was?
I wanted to make sure you want 3 people to share this. Okay.
Well, if they're paying for all of us, then we would go. Yeah, I would do that. But it would,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm being half silly. What has been your favorite festival Nick likes Berlin. That's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
That's all you talk about.
Oh my God. But it's also because the city and the culture. It's not like Cannes is like, you don't want to be around those fucking locals after the festival's over. And Venice is a beautiful city, but there's no nightlife. Berlin, yes.
Thank you, BMCK. I love riffing on movies. You're at that level. Love you both. Oh, thank you. Both quite funny. Thank you. Oh, Utaka. Oh, I've been watching oh God, now see, I'm forgetting something. The name of his podcast, the Horror Hour podcast. Can I shout that out?
Happy Horror?
No, Happy Horror Time is a different podcast.
Okay, we're familiar.
Which
with
I
that.
also listen to. That's two homosexuals.
Mm-hmm.
But Utaka has one. See, now I'm embarrassed. I just messed up the name. The Horror Hour podcast.
The Horror Hour?
No, horror. It could be the Horror Hour because they do talk nasty in the after
That's
hour.
That's a good title for a short story. The Horror Hour.
And that is usually, it's like 3 to 4 homosexuals.
Okay.
Which I've enjoyed. But when they do a watch party, they just kind of talk and do commentary. I mean, I don't understand how that works. So is the movie playing like in a corner of the screen, or is it literally like if we're sitting here, we're looking at the TV behind the laptop? And I'm so old. I don't know how things work. Or will we do it like MST3K? We have the camera facing our backs, and then you see the screen.
Yeah, well,
no, because that would be like copyright infringement, so we couldn't post.
You couldn't do it MST3K, but those same guys do that other. That's how they did that Hollywood After Dark movie that we see. What was it called? The Film Crew or something, where it's the same team, but they're completely off screen.
Oh, sure, yeah, but then you couldn't post that on YouTube. I don't know,
unless it's a film that's in the public domain.
Yeah, I don't know. I would much prefer to watch movies with people in person and talk. Like they can talk too. So that would be fun at a point, is to host like a thing where we all go to see the same movie and then we go somewhere and sit. Preferably, like what's that one, the micro theater in downtown LA that's next to the Jalisco bar? Oh,
the Main Street Theater, I think.
I think that would have been a great, because it was like a small theater.
It's like Main Street Independent, something like that.
And then they had like a cocktail room, like a. I think
they're still in operation. I think.
My favorite Janet album is Rhythm Nation.
And song.
Like, it's so hard. It changes every week, but today it'd probably be like Miss You Much.
Okay, mine's Velvet Rope. Songs, top 3 songs, Together Again, Just a Little While, and Feedback.
Note to self: save money for Nick and Joseph's private screening. Yeah, I have to think of a price though.
I think if if I had money, if I had real money, I'd build a micro theater, kind of like we used to go to this one called the Trilon in Minneapolis, and I have very fond memories of that.
Yeah, that would be something I think would be fun. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Shaznay. Oh, so I did skip stuff. Shoot. Nick doesn't watch trailers, but I will if he asks me to watch a movie and I'm not sure about it. I'll watch the trailer.
I don't refuse to watch trailers. It's just I don't usually feel the need to. There has to be something a little extra that makes me seek it out, because I watch so many screeners or press screenings that I just don't have the opportunity.
I'm not very familiar with like electronic dance music or electronic music. So when people say like trance electronica, I don't know how that's different from house but I like dance music that is instrumental. So what is that? Because that to me is a really great music to like work to, but I can't deal with people singing. I can't concentrate. Oh, you had zero interest in the Barbie film until you saw the trailer. Yeah, it's
I think I feel the same. I was just ambivalent.
Someone's congratulating me on my 170 movies that I watched in 2022. Meanwhile, Nick watched like 700. But thank you. I feel seen, which is nice.
Oh.
Things that we've learned from working on the channel /podcast together. Oh God. I don't want to start a fight.
How to be organized.
How to be organized, time management.
Different kind of communication as well.
Because we're very busy. Like, it's just every day we're busy. And it's a lot. Like, because we have careers, and then this is a thing, and then there are like social obligations,
passion projects.
There's always something to do. I mean, just like every day there's something to do, and it requires a lot of organization, and I'm not super organized, and my energy level is not the best because I eat like shit.
Well,
so trying to like stay healthy isn't like something I've learned. Like I have to eat better and sleep, because from the moment I wake up until I get up usually around 5:36, and until I go to bed around 11 midnight, it's like always something to do, and I'm never caught up. So doing this is, I'm definitely more productive and organized now than I was before.
Yeah. And also I think getting used to articulating thoughts out loud is a skill that I feel a little more comfortable with. And I think seeing how you look, being comfortable with how you look in your presentation, I think was a nice thing. Somebody referenced Le Note Bleu, the Blue Note, Le Note Bleu by Zulawski, which is a 91 film by him, and highly recommended. I can't wait for you to see it. I love that film. I remember they had a retrospective for him at the Cinefamily Silent Theater in like 2012, and I saw it there, and that movie is a lot of fun.
Someone asked if you have seen Suddenly Last Summer, which is going to make me laugh because Nick talks about that movie all the time. He did his thesis on it. So we're not going to get started on Suddenly Last Summer.
I have a quote from that on my breast, tattooed.
Oh. Wait, what movie is Colin in that he's... Are you talking about Colin Farrell or Colin Firth?
I'm assuming Colin Farrell.
I think Colin Firth is a nice looking man too. Sure. But Colin Farrell is...
are you talking like in The Lobster where he's got a little paunch?
I've always thought he's handsome.
He is.
So I was watching something from Tiffany's, and my daughter saw the screen and thought the main actress Zoe D was the one from Possession.
Oh yeah, I mean she's beautiful.
We'll just grow meat in labs. I thought I read something that there are like meat samples grown in the labs. Okay, we don't have much time, and I'm way behind. Plans on any new tattoos?
I need to get Sigourney somewhere. I've held off.
I want to get the silhouette from the Janet album. Well, really the Rolling Stone cover, like on me. I have another tattoo that's kind of that same style, so I want that style on the other side.
I love Sam Fuller. I've not seen the Steel Helmet.
We're being called authentic. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I try.
Yeah, the pandemic has created so many channels. Start a channel and have fun. 100%. Oh, yeah. So the cat, is she over there?
I think she settled down right before we started, but right before that, she was screaming up and down the stairs.
This is usually the time she'd be awake. So I don't know what's going on.
Infernal Affairs, the one that's I think Criterion just put that out. That what's it called by Scorsese is the remake of. What's the title of the Scorsese? The Departed.
My high school job placement test said I should be a film critic. I became a laboratory technician. That's interesting that was even something that was ascertained from a test.
The Bridge is an excellent war film. Bernard Wicki, there's something of is that director who did a really interesting film with Ingrid Bergman called The Return that I quite like, where this woman returns to this town where they wronged her and she takes vengeance.
Hello, UK. Someone said they just discovered our channel and they love our reviews. Thank you. Yeah, our show's definitely not overproduced.
No.
We're both Scorpios. Nick's rage is so elegantly shady, very British in its execution.
Oh, thank you.
Don't encourage him. Don't make him think that he's elegant with his shadiness.
I'm eloquent, okay? No.
Why did I cut my hair? I hate having hair so much. It is such a nuisance. If I could just be bald and not have to cut it, that'd be even better. Because even this takes every like 3 days I have to play with it. And I don't like that either. But when I had longer hair, it's just messy. There was hair everywhere. I'm constantly playing with it. Moonstruck and Peggy Sue Got Married are your favorites.
Nick Cage.
Have you heard of the Heartland Film Festival?
I've heard of it, have never been.
Letterbox is hard to navigate. Yeah, I mean, that's why I haven't even followed anyone besides you because I don't even know how it works. But I like Letterbox for our purposes because it's really easy to stay organized.
I like it.
Are we looking forward to Joker 2?
Sure.
Lady Gaga will star in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so she's the star?
Yeah, I've mentioned that before in the podcast, but yeah. I don't.
Someone else has a friend named Bo in LA.
Oh, is it the same Bo?
Is it the same Bo?
Bobo.
Well,
yeah, I'm
ask him and he'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Joaquin Phoenix was good for what that is. Yeah, I'll be excited.
Do we like true crime stories? Let me tell you something. I have listened to every episode of Dateline. I love true crime. I'm watching, like, whenever I'm waiting for you to like wake up, I'm watching
Plotting How to Kill Me.
I'm trying to find techniques.
Something About Pam. What's his name? Keith?
No, The Thing About Pam.
The Thing About Pam.
Yeah, I love
Keith, what's his name? Keith Harrison?
Oh God,
I'm blinking on his name.
Yeah, now my name. His name just escaped me, but yeah, I love it. We could raffle movie and a dinner. Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, sponsoring theater.
Yeah. I like Alamo. Well, I like Alamo Drafthouse even more now that I've discovered that you can park in that.
Yes, that's
and
much
they validate because I don't like paying full price for parking.
As not surprised. Yep.
I'm not too proud to beg. Well, you know. So how much are we thinking? A couple hundred.
Oh boy.
I mean, you know, I'm not cheap, so. I'm not a 19-year-old kid who lives in the basement and doesn't have money. So, you know, it's going to take a little more than.
I don't need your money, but I'm going to need your money.
I don't need money, but I'll take it. And I certainly am not going to, like, you know, take a shower and leave the house for $20. So I don't know. No, I don't know. It's a fun thought, but then I feel like it would just be, I just like being around people and talking. Mm-hmm. So, but I know that that's, you know, it's not possible to do that with everyone. A film cruise. Now, imagine if we got to a point where like someone would organize a cruise and we could.
That'd be so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a video on our channel about Nick's love for Sigourney Weaver. So if you want to know how he discovered her, I'd watch that.
Oh, look at you delegating.
Oh. You'd pay to watch Aliens with Nick? Well, email me. I could make that happen. No.
I've seen, the Naked Kiss we did a podcast on.
Or a video.
A podcast.
A podcast?
That was your seat with Sam Fuller, with Constance Towers pulling that, her wig gets pulled off in the beginning because the Naked Kiss is that of a pedophile.
That's right. That was a good movie.
Umberto Lenzi, I'm forgetting. Somebody like Mondo Vision or something did put out an Umberto Lenzi collection of films with Carol Baker, who you just saw as the grandma in Kindergarten Cop. But yes, Orgasmo is a lot of fun.
Where JS7 Dragon, where are you located? The house, the hour of the whore.
I said that was a good story title.
Sorry.
Yeah, Belle de Jour, basically Belle de Jour. Or we were just talking about Kathleen Turner as China Blue in Crimes of Passion.
I do try to keep our kitchen clean.
I do. I try too.
I didn't say you didn't.
Okay.
You're so argumentative.
I get critiqued.
Well, we could all do better.
Yeah, Joseph very much is angry at the dirt, and everybody.
I'm very angry.
And everybody that brought it into the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, someone said that we've helped them through a tough time listening to us argue with one another.
Betty or Joan? Betty's a better actress. Joan's a little more fun, but
I think Joan is more fun. But Betty's movies are better.
Yeah.
A micro theater. Where the screen is like it seats like what?
50 would be a lot.
I would say 50 would be a lot. So it's definitely but it's a big screen projection. And the places that the micro theaters I've been to, they usually have like a reception area. So it's easy to host events there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's in your cup, Nick? Coffee.
Coffee, because much like I said, I'm an up-tempo gal. I like uppers. Full steam ahead.
I'm an up-tempo gal. I need uppers. Okay, I need to get through these because it's
with a Dean and DeLuca cup, which I got in New York in 2007 because somebody, I've actually never verified this, that said Sigourney Weaver liked to go to that particular Dean and DeLuca.
Yes, that's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Someone learned the choreography to Rhythm Nation. That's impressive.
It is. That is impressive.
Okay, I got to get through these. We procured for him.
Can you imagine people watching that in 1959?
Oh, what's her line about the turtle or the tortoise?
The Encantados.
The Encantados.
Can you imagine though, like some straight person in the Midwest watching Suddenly Last Summer being like, "What do you mean you procured for him? What?"
Someone wants to see us dance together. That's happened before.
It has. I dance a lot more than you do, and I'm not saying I'm good. I just like to.
Someone else agrees.
Isn't 17 bridges? Isn't it 21 bridges? What is it? What's the name of that movie? Is it 17? I thought it was 21. I did see that.
Thank you, Yutaka. I try not to be shady. I'm not trying. I'm just saying how I feel. We did like the Dahmer series. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, one of them.
There's an episode about the Jeffrey Dahmer series. It is Keith Morrison.
Okay.
The thing about
I like when he's casting aspersions with his voice on the subjects of.
Will we do a review on Close?
Yeah, probably because it's getting a theatrical, and I have a screener, and I did like it, and you will too, and it's gay. Well, it's like gay adjacent, but.
Dean and DeLuca is closed now. So if you break that cup, you can't get another one.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Okay, it is 21 bridges, it looks like.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're past the hour mark. So
Warhol's Bad would be such a good secret movie. That's where Carol Baker's she's kidnapping these babies, and there's one scene where she throws one off a roof, I think.
Oh my God.
It's in such poor taste, but it's so fun.
Okay, so for next time, I don't have a theme in mind. I kind of like the birthday thing because if it forces
is Quentin you mentioned Tarantino.
I thought doing a Tarantino because I haven't seen Kill Bill, I haven't seen Pulp Fiction. Someone needs help voting for is it the Oscars?
Ampus. I vote for LAFCA, Los Angeles Film Critics Association, and also technically I'm supposed to be voting for a couple smaller guilds that I blow off. And that reminds me I'm supposed to fill out something today. For an international group.
Yeah, so maybe a Tarantino. We'll see. I'll see.
Yeah, the Pulp Fiction you need to see, and Kill Bill Volume 1 is I love. But
well, the thing is that I probably need to watch all of them. So doing a poll, I'm only going to watch the one.
You've seen? I showed you Jackie Brown because technically Jackie Brown's my favorite. Is that all you've seen?
I think so. Okay. Well, do you have anything else you want to share?
Inglourious Bastards I made you watch too.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, ta-ta for now, and I'll post about the next live theme in the coming days. Have a good weekend. Y'all done?
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.